Hello, hello. I'm back. It was pretty quick. I found my charger. So I'm going to just let everybody join again. Um, and I'm going to go into talking more about these collective energies and how we can navigate it. And specifically this time, I'm going to be reading through your questions. I want to start with there we go. All right. I'm being very casual right now. There is not a need for anything to be perfect today, that's for sure. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks for being here. Are you not feeling well? Is that what you were saying? The message that I'm delivering here, in case people are watching the replay and going, why is she just chilling on screen? I'm talking about the March energies. I just did a live stream. Hi, Sarah. I just did a live stream before this, and because I'm in transition, my computer died and it wasn't plugged in. So now it is, and we're good to go. And I was talking about all of these really powerful energies that we are moving into for March. You're back. Hi, Lori. Hi, Fleur. Is it possible for me to see starships and my husband not? Oh, yep, absolutely. Let's talk about that. First, I wanted to start this video with a little bit deeper of an understanding of one thing that I didn't say when I was going into how these collective energies are really, how we're experiencing it individually is sometimes there's this feeling when people talk about collective energies and they say, oh, wow, we've had this huge shift. A lot of times what I hear is, well, nothing's happened for me, so I must be doing it wrong. Or it's really bad for me, so I must be doing it wrong. It's really difficult for me, so I must be doing it wrong. And I want to address that before we go into some of these other curiosities. And what came through when I was channeling about these energies is for us to know that the shift has already occurred. And what comes from that is not the external world being totally different. This is what we learn in Law of Assumption. I teach it in my Limitless course. We're never manifesting something external to us. We're always manifesting a state of being, a way of knowing ourselves. And when we really know ourselves in a different way, the world is going to look very different. But it comes from us. The collective is from each of us individually. That's why so many of us are coming into our full amazingness so that we can create heaven on earth, right? It's not that we're going to wake up and the castle the castle in the sky is going to be landed here. That's not how it works. We're the ones doing it. This is a planet of choice. We are here for choice. We're here to choose, once again, what we've already chosen for ourselves in our higher form. That's what we're here for. And so if it feels worse, if it feels even worse, if it feels like, wow, it's getting worse, then you are looking externally. You are looking at the world around you, because the world around us is coming apart because those are old structures. It's not punishment, and we're actually meant to feel very stabilized and safe through this process. It's not always going to be that way. It's not always going to feel easy to self-regulate, but that's what we're being called on to do, is to be still and know that I am God, each of us individually. And I have absolutely, in my own world, as we all have, been through very difficult experiences. And there are people who have been through experiences far, far more difficult than anything in my life. So I'm not trying to just, push that off to the side. What I am saying is, you are absolutely powerful, each of you, all of us. And when we can disengage from what we're seeing out here, meaning maybe we can engage with it, but only if we don't use it as a way to interpret what's real. We're what's real internally. Our spirit, our sense of self, that's what creates all of this. And of course, all of this is breaking down. And I know that there are difficult situations in each of our lives. I know that. I also know that each of us are very powerful. And power does not mean that we can move a car. Power does not mean that we can change the external experience of this world, not in the way that we've been thinking. It means that we anchor that within, and then from there, the world changes. That's this process. So again, I want to reiterate, we're not going to wake up and see a different world. Well, we are. It's changing fast. But if we anchor our safety, anchor our sense of self and our power external to ourselves, and that means if you anchor your sense of safety within me as a channel, or any of the other channelers, or any of the other guides, then there's going to be points where we all let you down, right? Because even if I'm only speaking the straight truth from God all the time, your interpretation of it is coming from you and your inherent sense of what is real. And so if you are in a place where you don't feel safe inside, then nobody external to you can actually bring you that. No answers, no truth, no guidance, nothing can really bring you that. That's your work, each of us. That's our work. This is what it means that we're stepping into sovereignty. That's what this means, that we recognize that we're gods. And I know that it's hard right now. I do. I really do. And this is why we've been doing all this work, right? So that we can show up for ourselves. That's why I rest, right? Being in the divine feminine. Let's bring it back to that. Being in the divine feminine. For all of us, this is not gender specific, but operating from the divine feminine is devoting ourselves to that. That's our inner masculine comes into devotion for the feminine, and our inner feminine is the one that listens and watches and navigates with that flow. That's how this works. All right. I'm going to look at these questions. Oh, is it possible for me to see starships and my husband not? Yes. So when we talk about being able to see starships, and I think I have this in my video, I have a couple videos up about welcoming our star family. So I definitely recommend that. But it is always, even when we see starships, it is always a multidimensional experience. The reason for that is that our minds are so tight that it is hard for us to see something even physically if we have a belief that tells us that that can't possibly exist, right? So if I have my mind where I'm grounded and I'm centered, but my mind is nice and open, I'm centered in the heart, feet on the ground, then when I see a starship, and I shared about my experiences seeing a starship, and actually pretty recently I shared that I saw a starship when I was in Vietnam. It was really cool. But the first time, I couldn't believe my eyes. And I saw it so clearly, you guys. It was like, whoa, I saw 3 in succession. And I had other people with me who were seeing them too, but not everybody saw all 3. And it's just, if our minds are not allowing us to be aware of it, then we can see it right in front of our faces in physicality, and our minds are going to protect us from seeing what the mind doesn't already believe in, if that makes sense. And there's no judgment around that, right? I always like to say, if you're being a human, you're doing a good job because that's what we came here for. So if you are believing in limitations, if you're feeling separate, right? If you're suffering, all of that. And I know it sounds like I'm kind of pushing things off to the side here, being glib, but I'm not. It's just the way that it works here. Like, good job. You're being a human. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can't see what's in front of your face because you've got conditioning, then you're here for the human experience. And it's a particular bandwidth of that experience. All right. Yeah, girl. Okay. Floor said, perhaps the battery thing is symbolic of our needing to recharge. I literally said this yesterday. I love that you brought that up because it is. Um, I was in the car yesterday. I don't let my gas tank get down to where the light comes on. I'm pretty particular about my car. I really like to take care of the things that I own, and so yesterday I was in the car and my brakes were squeaking, and the gas tank was like hitting that where the light comes on, and I was like, man, this is so symbolic. I need to go do some self care. So yes, very symbolic. I love it. How many of you are needing rest right now? How many of you are feeling that? Also, did the lunar eclipse, did anybody get to see the lunar eclipse? I woke up for it and it was over the horizon. I wasn't able to see it. Oh, hi, Radka. Okay. Yes, we're all creators. Hi, Astral Sadiq. I love that name. Oh, Astraf. Hello. Still love it. Is that Arabic? Arabic, I think, is one of my favorite languages. That's a goal this year, to learn Arabic, to start learning Arabic. How does paper money play into the falling of the cabal? I'm going to do, with us using it, does it keep the system going or from falling? Ooh, that second part's a really good question. I'm going to dive into that. And I have a separate video coming. I really had it in my mind that I was going to make like 3 videos this week because I have so much information just almost on backlog. But y'all, I got to I got to practice what I preach here. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be going into, but I do have a video coming about how we're going to make that transition into New Earth in regards to financial structures and money. So that is coming. But I want to go into that second question. Will using the current systems keep all of this from falling? And I want to say absolutely not. In fact, this is meant to be, I know it doesn't look like it, but this is meant to be a smooth transition. And I say this in my book, Ecstatic Playground. It's not easy because externally it's easy. It's easy because we are easy about it. We are stepping into ease within ourselves. Each of us individually, it's our job to be easy about life, to be easeful, to bring ease to ourselves, to nurture ourselves. This is the divine feminine. If it's confusing to think about the divine feminine, use the analogy of the Garden of Eden or a garden, period. And I know that gardens take a lot of work sometimes, but so maybe don't think of a garden. Think about nature. If this neighborhood got vacated of humans for the next 100 years, it would just be a big forest. It would just, nature knows how to grow. And we are learning how to be Earth. Right? So maybe that helps a little bit more. But let me get specific about this. Does it keep the system from falling? I want to really listen to some guidance on this. It all depends on how. That's what I'm receiving. It all depends on how. Like, how are we engaging with these systems? Are we engaging with them as if they are the power, right? Are we looking at, and this is a big one with money, are we looking at money as if it's the god of our reality, right? Are we in charge or is money in charge? And a lot of us feel like money's in charge. A lot of people feel like money's in charge because if I were in charge, then it'd be easy to make money. Well, you are in charge, so it is easy to make money. It is. You're not making it, you're receiving it. This is the difference, right? So if you are engaging with these structures, like, and I'm going to go deeper into this in the New Earth money systems. But for example, this is one of the examples that's come through. If you are looking at crypto as the way to the future and you're thinking crypto's God, right? Like crypto's the only thing. And getting really hyper focused on it and like finding ways to invest or whatever. And it's got to be this one, and this one's bad, and this one's good. If you're operating from that, you have completely lost your power and you're treating crypto exactly like paper money has been treated. Right? We're not here to worship any of that. That's kind of the deeper teaching behind, don't put any gods before you. You're not here to worship any of that. You're not here to believe that any of that is the only way. So the way that we really want to engage with all of this is everything's actually quite easy for me. And I allow that to be true because we're gods. And so I'm going to kind of leave it there, but let me know if you have more questions on that. Great question. Yeah, that was a great question. Sorry, my eyes are itchy. I don't know if I have oh, I was like, do I have allergies here? And it's like, no, girl, you drink coffee. That always gets me. Oh, okay. But sometimes I need coffee when I'm driving. So, all right. Yes, getting rest right now. And I just changed the city where I live. I feel like that's kind of like a lot of people going into, let's revisit that a little bit. Crossing through that portal, that eclipse portal, there were a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. And I was expecting to have the second eclipse, today, this morning. I was expecting that eclipse to be super potent, super high energy. And it was, but not in this way of like the last eclipse. I was like, I got energy and I'm having visions. It's just like super open. And there was a lot of openness that happened through that portal. And now it's sort of like rest and integrate and watch everything around you shift without you needing to do the heavy lifting, right? Unless you enjoy heavy lifting, and then you can do it, because it's all about what are you, how are you letting yourself be cared for, right? I was super tired last Wednesday and Thursday, even canceled friends visit, but then got to feeling good. Still am in rest mode, being with a lot, and it feels so good. I love that. Oh, new city in Ecuador. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. See something of the eclipse. Oh, you did see the eclipse, huh? That's cool. Who got to see the eclipse? I was really bummed, because where I'm staying, it's like I'm kind of in a city. So I walked outside and I have a little app that shows me where the moon is and where the planets are. And I was like, well, I can't see it. So that was kind of a bummer. Is there any insight into the plans for digital ID and the possibility of people being monitored and controlled that way? There's pushback, but will that succeed? Okay, this is a great question. And it's both. It's both. The long-term truth is that it won't succeed because it can't succeed. And I'll say what can't succeed is the control agenda, which I just did a video on it. Go watch it. It can't. It just can't. We're moving into New Earth. We're in New Earth. And remember that externally, we're not seeing a lot of change yet. or I mean, we're seeing a lot of change, but it's not, if we anchor in the external world, we might be disappointed, right? Because we're seeing this month, what we're really seeing externally is a lot of those systems, and specifically the front runner players coming down, right? Um, that being said, there is definitely a push for it, and there's a pushback, right? So there's a lot of dynamics in that world. Let's see, what can I say about this? We're in a transition period for the next couple years. So the goal is not to have everything be, again, the goal is not to have everything be externally easy. The goal is to be internally easy. So you're going to have experiences that reflect your internal ease. And I will say that some people will be able to just completely move through whatever system of control is created. It won't even be a part of your world. If your internal frequency is, if that's not part of your story, it just won't be. That being said, I also don't want people to feel like, oh, it is a big part of my story, I must be doing something wrong. Again, one, that's a self-perpetuating belief, like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, so then I feel like life is attacking me, right? But what we're really going into is, no matter what the external world looks like, I'm good. I know I'm good. I know that I'm here playing my part. I know that no matter what happens, this is a part of the part that I'm here to play. And I can bring the fullness of my frequency. My sovereignty is guaranteed because we're eternal beings, right? Let me see if I can get more specific on that. I'm hearing, man, they're pushing hard, but it's just, so what I've actually been seeing on the physical level with the control agenda is there are too many people for whom the play, the dense layers of reality no longer are the only thing that's real. So there are just too many people who don't believe it. And in order to think about this, if you were, sorry, I've got one eye watering. If you were putting on a play, which I was a very theatrical child, so I used to take all the kids in the neighborhood and like make them be a part of this play and direct it, and then like I'd call all the adults in to watch. Yes, I've always been this way. Imagine you're putting on a play, but all of the characters, they're not really into it. They're like, this script is dumb. It's a dumb script. How good is that play going to be? It's just not going to happen. You're going to write a new script, and that's what we're doing. So with the control agenda, with, digital IDs and trying to control people from a technological standpoint, absolutely, they're still trying to do it. And we're actually moving into frequency realms where, none of that. It's sort of like if your whole life you've been pretending that, this is chlorophyll, by the way, your whole life you've been pretending that this is a human, and you've been told this is a human. And then one day you wake up and you're like, it's not though. It's not. And then somebody keeps, no, it's a human. You're going to have a little wishy-washy, right? But you're just going to be like, it's not though. And this is really what we're moving into. It's not just that the control agenda won't work because we're not going to be controlled digitally. It's because we are starting to recognize ourselves vibrationally on a totally new level. All right. Is there any guidance on food? Like what? Like we have to be vegan, or can we eat animal-based food? I love that question. And this is going to rile some people up because it always does. This is a topic that I tend to avoid unless I'm talking to someone individually, because people feel very I was like, what is that? It's my water bottle. People feel very, there's a lot going on in this realm. And people feel very attached to the way that they see it, which I totally understand. Um, this is an individual process. My process is that early on in my awakening, I had a very deep visionary experience and I was told to start fasting. I was told that if I ate meat that I would be very sick, and that was true for a period of time. And I cleansed a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to say that this particular process tends to happen for, I don't know, I don't want to generalize too much, but star seeds, um, people who are resistant to the earth, like I was, people who don't feel, connected to or safe with the earth. This is the process pretty frequently. I went vegan. I even went raw here for a moment. And then I was brought into where I eat a lot more meat now. In fact, even in my last ayahuasca journey, she showed me, you're like a bear. You like, like look at the bear. And the bear was catching fish in the river. And like there was just so much happiness in my heart for what that bear was doing. And it was all perfect. So that's where I am now. And I have a feeling that at some point in my life, I might not even eat food. I allow the process to show itself through me instead of trying to put a structure on top of it. I have channeled for people who are being guided to eat meat, but their belief system around that is that they don't want to. And so their body's having a hard time with it. And, people who rush into the breatharian process. We've got to connect with the earth. And at the very least, even if it doesn't change what we eat, we have to connect with the earth and honor the processes that are part of this planet. And they are going to change. I mean, we're going to change so much that the veil will be lifted and we'll just be talking to animals like, what's up, bro? Like, this is what I've seen. It'll just be all of the players, right? Where it's a different script. We're moving into a different script where the player that's been playing the deer, is going to just be like, we'll be like, oh, wow, it's so weird that we've been playing this way where, you're considered like a deer who doesn't have a brain, like whatever, doesn't have whatever, however we've been framing it. It's just going to be like talking to our friends. There won't be that separation, but I'm in the play right now. I still need to eat, right? This is just where I am. So the process is going to be taking the process. Okay. Yeah. If you're watching the replay and you're triggered, I'm sorry. I just want everyone to follow their own internal guidance and trust yourselves with all of this. All right, let's see. Oh, violet light. Thank you, Sarah. I love that. Ooh. Love it. I'm just skimming this to see. I love that. What gives me immense freedom is that I don't perceive myself as a human as normally understood, and therefore nothing related to human limits me. I love that so much. Of course. That's such great guidance. So freeing. Okay. Anyone can use it. Yes. Yay, Allison. I have to cleanse, and now I'm eating meat. I love the thing that we are going to talk with animals. Yeah, it's so fun, and it's been a play. And okay, so I'm going to close this part with this. It has been a play to the extent that if you are Ooh, this is gonna, well, actually, I don't think this is gonna trigger too many people, but I'm always surprised. Okay. If you are feeling like there are particular world leaders who you just like, oh, you just hate them, you just want to watch them fall down, because or anybody that you feel has caused a lot of suffering, and you're really feeling like you're really feeling a lot of that. What that means is that you're really playing the part right now, and they're really playing the part. And I promise you, I mean, I'm not going to name names because that's the part that really gets into the quicksand with people. But I have seen specific people who are not doing great things on the human level. On a higher level, I'm like, thank you, bro. or lady, thank you. Thank you for playing your part. Thank you you're doing a great job. You are really kicking ass at your role. And so that's where I am with it, right? Like, thank you. Thank you. Not because I love to see these harmful things happen, but because I am grateful for this human experience, and I see it as we're just all playing a role. And we've been in opposite land. We've been in opposite land. We need characters to play the bad guys, to hold the frequency of everything being flipped on its head. That's a hard one to hold. I have seen, I've seen part of my pre-birth experience for this life, and I was planning something with one of the characters in my life. And this particular character was planning a really tough experience for themselves and for me, so that I could have the experience that I needed to have here on this planet. The people that we consider harming us are sometimes our greatest. In fact, if we can take it this way, they are always our greatest teachers. And so thank God for them, because they're helping us learn exactly what we wanted to. And it's not easy from a soul level to play some of those really damaging parts. It's not. It's hard. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. And I'm going to rest. I'm going to sit outside and just maybe take a walk. And I encourage each of you to do as much resting as you can. Know that things have shifted, but that doesn't mean that that the ease is going to come externally. It's going to come from within. We're the ones creating all of this. So, so if you feel like nothing's moved, just rest, trust the process, because because a lot because a lot has shifted. All right, my loves, I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Oh, book club is next week. I want to make that announcement. Book club for Ecstatic Playground is on Sunday. It's in my private community space, the True Creator Community. It's free. So join in. The link is in the description box. I'll add it at some point today. So you can find it in any of my other videos if I end up taking a walk and forgetting. Okay, my loves. I'll see you soon. Bye.